Hi everyone, my name is Gail Clayton. I'm your nutritional pharmacist. I'm here today to talk to you about my product Immunothrive and how I came about developing it. First of all, a little bit about my story. I was toxic mold poisoned about 15 years ago, and as a result of that became very, very ill with chemical sensitivity and hypersensitivity pneumonitis to molds. And it was so bad that everywhere I went, I wore a gas mask, and if I got exposed to chemicals, I would have horrible neurological issues, and if I got exposed just to small amounts of mold, I would end up with a pneumonitis and flu-like symptoms that would last anywhere up to 3 weeks or more. And so I had a really difficult time fitting in society and living a normal life. I was just in constant fear, and I also had developed multiple food sensitivities as well as a result of this. And so I found myself moving a lot and in search of safe housing, and I ended up moving to Mexico, up in the mountains on Lake Chapala. It's second best climate in the world, so I knew that I didn't have to depend on air conditioning and heating. Nobody has it there, and I thought, wow, that's excellent. That way I can go places and I don't have to worry about going into buildings that was full of mold in their AC units or mold in the heating units, mold behind walls because the houses were made of concrete. And I thought, well, this is paradise for me. So I went down there and I ended up getting involved in a group educating the local people about this tree called moringa. Well, they wanted me to be the medical expert of the group, and I thought I had better look into see what this moringa is all about. And so I decided I needed to read all of the peer-reviewed articles. I downloaded all the articles that I could find, probably over 100 of them. I read them all, and I came across some interesting articles on how moringa has regulatory ability on T cells of the immune system. Well, I know that T cells will act on mast cells where the histamine is stored and cause it to be degranulated and have release histamine, causing allergic reactions and inflammation. And I knew that that's what my problem was. And I thought, well, if this can regulate T cells, maybe it'll work for me. And so I started taking moringa, and I noticed that I did improve. I wasn't sure how much to take or what, how much it was going to help me. And then I thought, if moringa can do this, are there other herbs that have this ability too? Because I knew that when you combine botanicals, whatever actions they have, it becomes synergistic. And I thought, well, how can I make this even more powerful? And so I spent months researching herbs and their regulatory ability on T cells, and I came up and deleted a bunch and went through a bunch and ended up with the ones that are in my formula right now. And I found them to be the most powerful combination that I looked at. And along with a friend of mine who's a PhD nutritionist, we figured out the right dose that was needed to make my sensitivities go away. And within 2 weeks, they actually did go away. And so I ended up moving back to the U.S. and from Mexico, so that I could make this product available to other people, because I knew that I'm not the only one that has dysregulated T cells that causes massive histamine release and made my life miserable. And since it helped me, I think it can help you too. And so I've started talking to people about it, and I've had a lot of questions, and I wanted to answer just a few of the questions that I got. One of them was, what symptoms did it relieve in me? Well, with me, it relieved my mold sensitivity. It allows me now to be able to go anywhere, even if I know that there's a heavy mold count inside a building. I can go in it without fear of getting really sick and ended up with pneumonitis and bronchitis that would last for weeks and be in bed and just be miserable. And it did relieve my chemical sensitivity. It took a little bit longer for me, and it still gets better. I still have a little bit of that. There's a couple of perfumes that when I get exposure to that I still have a bad reaction to, but it doesn't happen very often, and not enough to where I'm afraid to go in public because of it. And another person asked me, why did I choose the ingredients that I chose? Well, because I found that this certain combination and the certain concentrations that we chose was the best. And so that's why we chose these ingredients. Each one of the ingredients alone are known to have regulatory ability on the T cells. And that was the main reason for formulating this product, is they're looking at their ability to work on T cells and help regulate them. How long until you notice a difference? For me, it took about 10 days. Some people have told me they notice a difference in 1 day, a few people 4 days. But the average time it takes is about 10 days, taking 3 capsules a day. Some require much less, and some people take a lot less time to where they notice a difference. But most people that really have problems with histamine have told me that within a few days they could feel a big difference. Um, Another question was, can you take it along with other supplements? Well, of course you can. Immunothrive is, think of it as a food. It's basically made from 5 different superfoods, and superfoods can best be described as taking is 1 gram of a superfood being equivalent to the nutrient power of 1,000 grams of other fruits and vegetables. So with Immunothrive's dose of 3 capsules being 2.1 grams, that equals to about 5 pounds of nutrient power from fruits and vegetables daily. And it's really hard to get that much vitamins and minerals and nutrients from our diet. But Immunothrive supplies it in 3 small capsules. Uh, and another question, can you take it if you're an overmethylator? Now that one's a little bit more trickier. If you have histamine symptoms and you want to try Immunothrive, you might want to start with a very small amount, and at the same time you might have to decrease some of your methylation support supplements so that you'll be able to tolerate it. One thing that may happen is you might feel a little jittery or nervous, and I've worked with a few people that have had that problem, and we've kind of changed some of the supplements around so that they were able to tolerate it. Most people are able to tolerate it as an overmethylator. A few have not, and but it's up to you if you think you want to try it, being an overmethylator. But Immunothrive supports all the metabolic pathways, so it gives a really good overall support for methylation. Uh, and you might find that after taking it for a while, I know that I have, that I'm unable to take a lot of other supplements along with it, but I don't really need it. My body doesn't want it, and I feel healthy, and I feel younger, and I feel more alive, and I feel much more healthier. And I hope that you will too. So you give Immunothrive a try and see if you get the same type of wonderful relief from histamine that I did. Thank you.